Hello everyone and welcome to Anupam Tech Talk. This is episode number 17 of my engineering leadership series where we explore practical lessons from software engineering, architecture, artificial intelligence, system design and technology leadership. Today, let's talk about something every software engineer hopes does not happen but eventually it will. A production incident. Imagine this. It's a normal working day, and suddenly you receive a message. The application is down for thousands of users. What do you do? Do you immediately start looking thousands lines of code immediately, or do you start making changes, or do you first stop, understand the situation, and create a structured response? Today, let's talk about how experienced engineers approach production incidents. What is production incident? A production incident is an unexpected problem that affects users or the reliability of live system. It could be application crash, an API might be returning errors, a database could becomes unavailable, a recent development might cause unexpected behavior, or sometimes the system may technically be working, but customers are experiencing extremely slow performance. The important thing is that the problem is happening in the environment where real customers are using our product. And that's what makes production incidents different from the ST environment. Time matters. Every minutes of disruption can affect customer revenue and trust. When something goes wrong in production, our natural reaction can be to start fixing immediately. But there is a problem with that approach. If several engineers start making changes without understanding the situation, we can eventually make the incident worse. A better approach is to create a structure. First, understand the impact, how many users are affected, which functionality is impacted, when did the problem start, was there a recent development or the configuration changes. Then, look at the available evidence, check logs, check monitoring and alerts, look at the matrices, compare the current behavior with the previous healthy state. The goal is not to immediately find someone to blame. The goal is to restore the service safely and quickly. Let's take a mobile application as an example. Imagine your team releases a new version of the mobile banking application. Shortly after the release, customer supports start receiving complaints that users cannot log in. The first question should not be who made this change. Instead, we should ask what changed and what evidence do we have. The engineering team checks the monitoring dashboard. They notice that authentication API failure increases significantly immediately after the new release. The team then checks the backend logs and discovers that a new authentication parameter is not being handled correctly for some older clients. Now the team has several options. They could investigate and fix the issue in the new release. They could roll back the release, or if possible, they could disable the affected functionality using a feature flag. The best decision depends on the impact, risk, and the available recovery options. And this is an important engineering lesson. During an incident, the fastest solution is not always the best solution. The goal is to restore a reliable service while minimizing the additional risk. Another important concept is the difference between recovery and the root cause analysis. During an incident, our first priority is recovery. We need to get the system back to the stable state. Once the system is stable, we can investigate why this incident happened. Maybe there was a software defect. Maybe our testing did not cover a particular scenario. Maybe monitoring did not detect the problem early enough. Or maybe our deployment process needs improvements. These questions are important, but they do not necessarily need to be answered before restoring the service. First, stabilize, then investigate, and then improve. Here is where production incidents becomes a leadership topic. A technology leader should not create a culture where engineers are afraid of making mistakes. Instead, the organization should create a culture where incidents becomes opportunity to improve the system. After an incident, we should ask what happened, why did it happen, why did it happen, why was not it detected earlier, how did we respond, and most importantly, what can be changed so that the same class of problem becomes less likely in future. That's how organizations becomes more resilient. So here is today's takeaway. When production goes down, don't panic. Understand the impact, communicate clearly, stabilize the system, investigate the root cause, learn and improve. A strong engineering team is not a team that never experiences incidents. It's a team that responds to the incident calmly, learn from them, and continuously makes the system more resilient. Thank you for watching episode number 17 of my engineering leadership series. I would love to hear from you what's the most interesting production incident you have experienced and what did you learn from it. Share your experience in the comments. Until then, next time, one lesson every day, better engineering, better leaders.